So we're in the month of February right now, but in a few months, in April, we know what time it is. It's tax time. So right now we're getting all our W-2s in the mail, getting all our receipts in order as well too, making sure we have all of our donation statements as well to ensure we have all of our information to give to our tax professional to make sure we get our money back and what have you. I said, why don't we go ahead and get ahead of the curve? In this month of February, we bring some finance professionals on the show. I got tax professional Miss Teresa Harge coming on the next show. Miss Teresa has over 15 years of experience being a tax professional. She also has some other business ventures as well too, and she's truly been a help for me, seeing as though she's been doing my tax ever since I had a job. So since my first job, Miss Teresa has been doing my taxes. I've had the same tax professional. She's just absolutely amazing, a wealth of knowledge. She'll be on the next show of Contractor Conversations. But for this show, I got my guy, Prince Owusu. I've known Prince since high school. We went to Virginia State University together. He actually went on to graduate from Virginia Tech University with his business degree, and he went to go into the finance world. Prince has designations as a chartered retirement finance counselor and also just a chartered finance counselor itself. And then he went to a whole nother level when he went to take the test to become a certified financial planner. And we'll tell you how important that is and how difficult that is to even be a certified financial planner. Prince went ahead and did that. So he's a wealth of knowledge as well too, has the credentials to back up as well too, and just a great person to have on your team. It's a great interview today, man. I'm super excited to have Prince on the squad, on the team, on the show. Before we get to the show, as always, like this video, subscribe to the Nick Brown Experience. There's a wealth of knowledge on here too. Don't want you to miss out with that. And sit back, relax, and enjoy the video with Prince. All right, family, welcome to another episode of Contractor Conversations. I have a special guest with me here, Prince Owusu. I've known Prince since high school. I've known Prince a long time, and Prince has went on to be a certified financial planner. Prince, how you doing today?
I'm blessed and black. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. Blessed and black as well, man. Glad to have you on the show, man. Prince, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So yeah, just for the listeners out there, like you said, me and Nick go way back to high school, and we were real close freshman year of college. Shout out to Virginia State.
Yeah.
As far as myself, I'm a certified financial planner, like Nick said. So I'm really into wealth building and helping people live their best life within their financial scope. So that's what I do professionally. And I'm happy to be on the show today.
Man, I appreciate that. So Prince, what does I know we've heard of like a financial planner. What does certified mean? What does it mean to be a certified financial planner?
Sure. So a CFP, or a certified financial planner, is the gold standard in our industry, in the wealth management industry. And to become a certified financial planner, there's 4 steps. First, you need to have about 3 years of experience. And this experience could come under working under somebody who's a CFP, or being in the industry in any capacity. So you need the 3 years of experience. You need to have a bachelor's degree. It doesn't necessarily have to be in finance, although that helps. So experience, degree, you need to pass a background check, make sure you're a decent person. And then the last one is a monstrosity of a test. Whew. So the test is 6 hours, a boatload of questions, and the questions aren't like simple math questions. They're more critical thinking questions, more situational questions. So studying for that test took me about 1.5 years. So it was quite the journey, and I'm super glad to be on the other side of it. But that's what differentiates a CFP from the slew of other financial professionals out there.
Prince, you dropped a bar on me a little bit before. How many financial planners, certified financial planners, and I think it was in America, are Black?
Out of the entire number of financial planners, it's about 2 to 3%. So there's 92,000 CFPs in America. So let me just do some quick math to see how much of them look like me and you. We talking about roughly 2 to 3,000. So it's not too many of us. So I'm definitely blessed to be in that number.
Yeah, man, we're blessed to have you on the show. That's a crazy feat, man. Congratulations to that. And I'm excited. I'm super, super excited. So let me ask you, how do I know if or when I even need a financial planner, certified financial planner?
Okay, well, I'm biased, so I think everybody needs a financial planner.
Respectfully,
But
respectfully.
people typically come to advisors when they hit a roadblock in their finances. Um, let's just throw a situation out there. Let's say somebody's I don't know, a real estate agent, and this person they have a spouse, and now they have to worry about their income and their spouse's income, and they want to save for retirement. And oh, are we going to have kids in the future? How about college? I'm still paying off my student loans. I don't want junior to pay off their student loans. Do I have enough insurance? Am I saving for retirement in the right way? How can I lower my taxes? So when the questions become overwhelming and there's more questions than answers, they delegate to a third party. And that's when we step in. We're able to look at you, look at everything that you're trying to accomplish, your goals, your ambitions, your fears, your money mindsets, and what essentially makes you who you are, and advise you on the best way to achieve whatever your goal is to achieve.
Okay. I want to drop a key on people real quick. Just throw keys out there. Let's stay with the same analogy. Let's say I am a real estate agent, hypothetically speaking here. Got some nice cash on hands, debts paid off. What would be the first thing that I should possibly do? I'm looking at the stock market. I'm thinking about investing in some good stuff. I know there's some great stocks out there. I know you saw that Frontier and the Spirit merger right there. Come on now. What are some things that I should do for starting off?
As far as for starters, I always tell clients, and it's not the most sexy advice, but it's the most basic advice and the most true advice, is that you need an emergency fund. The typical rule of thumb in the industry is 3 to 6 months. Whether you choose to do 3 or 6, that depends on your income. If it's a 2 income household, then you can get away with one. Then you can get away with 3 months. If it's a 1 income household, then you need 6 months, just to be more on the conservative side of things. So that's definitely rule number one, is to get that budget together, know how much it costs to be you, know how much your bills are, know how much you're spending when you're going out every weekend, know how much you're spending eating out, groceries, all of that fun stuff, and just do simple multiplication and find out what it would take to stay afloat if your income stopped for 3 months or 6 months, and start saving that amount.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best advice. You never know when something is going to happen, and you need that cash on hand. That emergency fund is super, super important. And Prince, what I'm hearing is two things. One thing is you want to be super honest with your finances, or with the financial planner, because I mean, you know, I'm talking with debts and your goals as well too.
Oh yeah, definitely. I find that these meetings sometimes become therapy sessions. I always think that there's a few, well, you shouldn't lie to any professionals, but your lawyer, your doctor, and your financial advisor, because whatever situation you're in, we've probably seen it before. People might be embarrassed about their debt, or they might be embarrassed about a habit they have, or whatever it is that's stopping you from telling somebody, or they might feel like they're too behind. Just be honest. And my goal as an advisor is to help you get to where you want to be. So definitely be as honest as possible.
Yeah, that's real. And the second thing that I think I caught was discipline. You're a certified financial planner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're doing the work. You're not taking the funds and actually putting in there. So you can plan all day long, but discipline is super big as well.
Yeah, there's definitely different levels of advice that you could get, or different allowances that you can have your financial advisor have. Some clients will have their advisor directly manage their investments, which means they can go in and make trades on their behalf and things like that. But you're absolutely right, where the buck stops with you. I can write a beautiful plan, tell you to save X amount, tell you to invest X amount, but if you don't, then it's just a piece of paper and it's collecting dust. So discipline is definitely one of the huge factors here.
Yeah. Let me drop another key real quick. Key number 2. All right, cool. I have my emergency fund. I've saved up. I'm smart. So I saved 6 months. I'm smart out here. Okay. All right. So I got my emergency fund. I'm good. What is the difference? Now I am a real estate agent, which means I don't have a W-2. I'm an independent contractor, so I don't have a 401k with my company. All right.
Mhm.
What is the difference between a 401k and an IRA? You can kind of go into Roth if you like to, but just 401k versus IRA.
Yeah, exactly what you just said. 401k is tied to your employment. So if you work for, let's say Google, Google will offer you a 401k, and as a part of your compensation package and part of incentivizing you to save for your retirement, Google will say, this is your salary. We'll put 5% into your 401k if you put 5% into your 401k. So you often hear people say it's free money. It's a part of your compensation package where if you don't invest that money, then you don't receive it. What differentiates a 401k from an IRA is IRA stands for individual retirement account. So since it's individual, it's not tied to your employment. It's completely owned by you, and those have separate limits from the 401k. So in the 401k, you can put in up to 20,500 a year. If you're under 50, with the IRA, you can put in 6,000 a year. And to further elaborate on those types of accounts, there's traditional in both IRA and 401k, and Roth in both IRA and 401k. And the difference between traditional and Roth is all about taxation. Traditional means you get the current year tax benefit. So what that means is whatever you put into your 401k does not count toward your taxable income when you're calculating your tax bill at the end of the year. And whatever you put into your traditional IRA, you get to deduct it from your taxable income at the end of the year. Roth means it's included in your taxable income, but it grows tax-free. So you definitely consult with your financial advisor and see which is best for you depending on the stage in life that you're in. But that's the difference between 401k and an IRA.
Okay. Okay. Can I pull that money out from either? Like, is there any penalty on pulling that money out on either?
There's there's definitely rules that go with each of the accounts, and that's because the IRS set up these accounts to incentivize Americans to save for retirement. So they don't want you to take that money out early. So they will penalize you for that, but there's definitely ways around that and exceptions. For example, with the Roth IRA, well, with an IRA period, interestingly enough, since we're in the world of real estate here, you can take up to $10,000 in your IRA and use it for your first home purchase. And this excludes taxation. And also, if you're disabled, unfortunately, if you die, your people can take it out without taxation. So there's definitely exceptions to the rule. So it just depends on your situation. But generally speaking, 59 and a half is the age where after that, you don't have to pay any penalty on it.
Okay. Okay. But Prince, we're already on investments. We're talking investments now. Let's talk a little bit on life insurance. I know there's a lot of different intricacies to life insurance. People use it for different things, but let's get a nice little blanket of different life insurance policies or different things you can do with life insurance.
Sure. I'll keep it simple, try to keep it brief here, because like you said, life insurance is an entire topic in of itself. There's term life insurance, which is essentially renting the policy. It's one of those things where you don't like paying for it, but you have to, in the sense that, you don't get car insurance hoping to get into an accident, but, in case you do, you have it. So with term insurance, if you have the policy for 20 years or 30 years, you pay the premium every month or every year or every quarter, however you choose to pay the premium. And at the end of the term, it expires. So you don't receive any benefit beyond the peace of mind that if I am to pass away in the 20 years or 30 years, whatever the term is, my beneficiary will inherit X amount. And this is really good for somebody who just got a mortgage. Let's say, you signed off a 30-year mortgage. Well, you want to have insurance for that time in case the worst case scenario happens and your beneficiary or whomever lives in the house with you has the ability to retain that house since they lose your income power. And then there's whole life. So whole life means exactly that. It's in place for your whole life. And by whole life, it's not forever. It's until age 100. Um, and those policies tend to be a little bit more costly, but they come with the guarantee that no matter what age you die, your beneficiary will receive the death benefit. Now, to take it a step further into whole life, there's universal whole life and variable whole life. And those are different ways that you can invest within life insurance policies. And there's certainly reasons that one would want to do that. Um, but to keep it basic, there's term, whole life, universal, and variable. And those are life insurance summed up.
No, that's good right there. That's good, blanket answer. For more information, go ahead, contact Prince. All right, Prince, we had a conversation before this, and I swear to you, it was about a smooth hour or more just on life insurance. So like, yeah, contact Prince for that. That was an amazing blanket answer right there. Let me ask you okay, so how can, I guess, contacting you, how would somebody get in front of you? Or I guess more some of my questions, okay, how are certified financial planners paid? I think that's a better question.
Sure. So there's not a plethora, but there's a handful of ways that financial advisors are paid. The most simple is fee only. So let's say you come to me, you want a financial plan. Most on the low end is gonna run you about 1,000, and that's anywhere you go. Um, but advisors certainly charge a lot more. And I'm not here to sugarcoat it. Financial advisors do charge, money for their services. So the most simple way is fee only. To get more complex, let's say, to go back on the life insurance we talked about, let's say you are to buy a life insurance policy from me, or a disability insurance policy from me, or a long-term care policy from me. A lot of financial advisors are acting dually as insurance agents, and they are licensed to sell those products. So they can be paid for the financial planning fee, and they could be paid off the premiums that you pay for the insurance policies that you buy off of them. And then the third way would be assets under management. So you mentioned, how does somebody work with a financial advisor? Let's say, I don't know, great 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 grandpa Brown passes away, gives Nick $2 million. Nick says, Prince, invest this for me. I'm gonna be like, cool, I got you for 1%. And what that 1% is that 1% of assets under management will be the price of the investment. So will be my fee for investing your assets. So me looking over the market, looking over your goals, what's best for you, and making the trades necessary and things like that, that 1% will cover that. So those are the three ways that financial advisors get paid.
Prince, let's drop a third key real quick. Let me get a third key. What is something in your experience? What is something that you find surprising that most consumers don't know about their finances in general?
Sure. A lot of people are not gonna like this one, but I'll answer it with an example. Nick, you're my boy. We go way back. Can I borrow, let's say, $3,000? I'm gonna holla at you February 8th, 2023, and give you your $3,000 back.
Nah, you need some. I'm charging you. You're going to give me something else. You need 3,000, 3,500. You can come to me with.
Exactly. So I bring that example up because every year, especially around April, people are super excited that they're getting their tax return back. And all your tax return is your own money that you lent to the government interest-free. And when I say lent it to the government, when you get a job, you get a W-2. And on that W-2, you choose how much taxes are withheld from your pay. And people tend to pick zero because that's the default answer. That's the most conservative answer. And that means the government withholds the highest amount possible. What that means is that you don't have your entire purchasing power throughout the course of the calendar year. So that's money that you could have invested. That's money that you could have saved. That's money that could have gone to, little Tommy's baseball. That's money that you could have spent throughout the course of the year, but you didn't. You sent it over to the government and you're receiving it back in a big refund. The remedy for that is to work with a CPA, work with a financial advisor. Tax planning shouldn't be something that's done in April when you want to know how much you get back. It should be done throughout the course of the year to make sure you're maximizing your purchasing power throughout the course of the year. So it's February, it's a perfect time to look through it. This is how much I make, this is how much I'm withholding, this is how much I'm on pace to owe based on my situation. And then you tailor your withholdings that way. And this is just for people that are employees. If you're self-employed, like my real estate agents here, then you can pay taxes quarterly, or there's definitely different ways to pay taxes, but the same logic applies, where you look at how much you project that you'll make, and then you pay taxes based off of that. And like I was saying, when you get a large tax return, that's just your own money, and people tend to celebrate that, not knowing that all that means that you didn't maximize your money throughout the year.
I was people. So that because I definitely would come back and be like, oh man, I got all this money back. I loved April, but now to know that, okay, this is what's going on. It's kind of like a little, I mean, it's not to say it's still your money regardless. Like, but we thought we were really getting some free money back, but nah.
Exactly.
Not at all. Hey, Prince, there's a lot of, let's talk a little bit more about investments. There's a lot of different investments, securities or instruments out there. I want to talk about the platform. So we have like the Robinhoods, we have all these different applications. You and I talked about one, it was called Wealthfront. Can you tell me a little bit about Wealthfront, a little the benefits of that, and how easy it is, kind of user friendly for my viewers that we go in there. This is no plug.
Sure.
This is not a plug to Wealthfront. This is literally it's just a good
sure.
app.
So, when it comes to investing, the first thing you should ask yourself is why. Why am I investing? What is the purpose of it? Common reasons might be for retirement. It might be because I want to see my money grow. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a tangible reason. So retirement, seeing my money grow. I want little Nick to go to college in X amount of years. I want to be able to retire super early, whatever your reason is for investing. And then that drives the how. So you start with the why, then you go with the how. So if you're investing for long term, then you would go the tax advantage routes. And that goes back to the 401k we discussed earlier, or the IRA we discussed. And Wealthfront gives you an opportunity to invest in those types of accounts, in IRAs. And so we started with the why, we talked about how, and then what do I actually invest in? And that's an overwhelming question. You said, you talked about Spirit and Frontier coming together. There's so many things in the news, so many headlines. The thing with metaverse going down, and Amazon is still Amazon. There's so many headlines. So it's often overwhelming for consumers to know, what do I buy? How long do I hold it? And questions like that. What I like about Wealthfront or Betterment or other robo-advisors is that they do the investing on your behalf. So when you open an account with any robo-advisor, you take a risk tolerance questionnaire, and that will let them know your level of risk. That means how well do you do in risk? If the market goes down like it did the beginning of last week, are you somebody who wants to sell all your investments and run for the hills? Are you somebody who's not even going to look at it and just let it do its thing? It takes that into effect, and it chooses ETFs for you. ETFs are equity traded funds, which essentially there are baskets that hold a bunch of investments. So you're not just holding Apple, you're not just holding Amazon, you're holding representatives of the entire US stock market, some global equities, you're holding equities for real estate, for REITs, real estate investment trusts. So it gives you a diversified approach to investing without you having to do it all yourself. So that's what I like about robo-advisors. And to name a few, there's Wealthfront, there's Betterment. And at this point, I think all the major platforms have their version of it. Fidelity, T-Row, there's, you name it.
I use M1 Finance as well too. You can create pies on there. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what a robo-advisor is. And I really like that for beginners because it takes the guesswork out of investing.
But we're gonna stop it right here. Prince, we gotta bring you back, man. We got to.
Yeah, definitely.
Gotta bring you back, man. It's been great. Prince, tell the people how they can get in contact with you, where they can find you. Drop some information on them.
Sure. Feel free to hit me up via email. My email is my first name, Prince, last name, Owusu. That is OWUSUMAN92 @yahoo.com. And I enjoy having these conversations. So feel free to hit me up with any questions you have and things like that. And we can go from there.
Yeah, you better hit them up now. Price is going up. Price is going up. Prince, appreciate you again, man. Thank you all for tuning in for another episode of Contractor Conversations, man. See y'all later.
All right, have a good one.